Operation Market Garden was a bold gamble to end the war before Christmas, the largest airborne operation in the history of the world. There'll never be another one like it, and it failed.
More soldiers died on the first day than the Americans have lost in the entire Iraq War.
Hell's Highway was the name that the paratroopers gave this narrow band of roadway because the battle for it was true hell.
Why make a video game about battle where the guys that you're becoming, the allies, lose? Why do that? Because of the strategic defeat, I think this is one of the most interesting stories.
It's not your usual story where at the end there's a victory parade and everyone has patted each other on the back and said, wow, we did it.
That kind of backdrop where things don't always work out makes for some very interesting opportunities for storytelling.
On the 17th of September 1944, it was a quiet day in Eindhoven, in Zaan, and on the Belgian border. The sky filled with airplanes. 35,000 paratroopers were being flown in countless flights of C-47s. The German soldiers looked up into the sky and their jaws dropped.
We're heading into Holland and opening up a goddamn highway.
Operation Market Garden was a pretty bold plan.
The big pitch was we'll just march right into Berlin, you know, and that's a long march.
We punch through the German line, punch straight into Berlin, punch Hitler in the face, win the war, and be home by Christmas.
They were going to drop a carpet of paratroopers to seize the bridges across the canals in Holland that led along a very thin road all the way to the Rhine River, 60 miles in length.
The Germans were certainly not ready to just allow that to happen.
Everything had to go according to plan, and if any one aspect of it failed, the whole thing would just start to unravel.
In military operations, very seldom does everything go right.
Germans! Find cover! Now! Move!
The German army pulled off a miracle. They happened by chance to place 2 tank divisions in Holland to rest and recuperate.
Going in, it was planned that we were just fighting old men and young boys. They didn't plan to fight 2 whole divisions of tanks.
A German tank is a pretty impressive thing in 1944.
Between that and the weather and all the mist drops and the lack of reinforcement drops, just couldn't hold on to anything.
This is Kick Off Blue! There's Jerry all over! We need support now!
Not supplied, not equipped, starving, hungry, wet, cold, tired, and getting killed.
Bob! Bob!
Once the Germans understood what was going on, they immediately counterattacked. They surrounded the corridor and they crushed it.
They were way behind enemy lines, they were outnumbered, the paratroopers were on their own.
We have an outstanding department that just focuses on all the authentic details.
Basically, we recreate the time and the place, trying to bring all these people to life.
The British government had spy planes taking photographs of Operation Market Garden every 3 hours during the battle. I mean, we're able to look at the details of it and see, you know, each artillery piece. And some of the photographs you can actually see in the middle of a fight.
Unlike other video games, when we have historical photos, historical references, we've got to put it in there.
Rather than just making up a field or doing whatever I wanted to, I could actually go and say okay, well here is the village of Zaan, and here's what this field behind this farm actually looks like, and I can actually recreate that.
We went out and did a tank shoot, we went out and recorded jeeps, we went out and did a gun shoot. We did things like that to make sure that it was as close to being what it should be.
I've even taken them out on a field training exercise where they had an opportunity to actually practice being soldiers.
We would find more photos of really intense situations, guys carrying other guys, or guys wounded or even dead soldiers on the side of the road, and it's this guy's buddy is dead, and there's a story there behind that photo, and that's what we're trying to get across.
Some of the stories we learned from the veterans were just grim. The kind of stuff you actually can't retell. The guy who picked up his friend's gun and it wouldn't fire because his friend's brain matter was stuck in the breech.
We met with George Koskamaki, who wrote many great books on World War II, but he told us of moving into the outskirts of Zaan. They entered a small barn and they had seen a Dutch civilian, a teenage girl who had been hung by the Germans. And when he told us this part of the story, he got really choked up. This really bothered him. But that's what we really wanted to get. We wanted people to feel that way. We wanted to say, this is a video game, but we really are trying to capture what happened in World War II. These men survived, and that's why we're honoring them.